On July 27, 2023, the Ghanaian government took an important decision, banning the export of unprocessed minerals, including lithium. This action mirrors actions taken by many other African countries which have adopted similar measures. The main objective is to improve the use of their natural resources. African countries are increasingly showing a tendency to resist neocolonialist economic projects and to fight for economic self-sufficiency. In this video, we will look at 10 African countries which have banned the export of raw materials to Europe. Number 10. Niger. Niger's decision to ban uranium exports has significant implications for the global uranium market. Over the past decade, France has been a notable importer of natural uranium, with a total import volume of 88,000 tons. The majority of this uranium comes from three key countries: Kazakhstan, 27%, Niger, 20%, and Uzbekistan, 19%. While Niger played an important role in supplying uranium to France, it should be noted that some political figures have sometimes overestimated its global importance in the uranium trade. However, Niger's position as a major uranium producer has faced challenges in recent years. High production costs and falling uranium prices until 2016 contributed to the decline of Niger's importance as a uranium supplier. In 2022, Niger represented only 4% of global uranium production. On the other hand, Kazakhstan leads with 43% of global production, followed by Canada, 15%, Namibia, 11%, and Australia, 8%. Number 9. Ghana. As we have just announced to you, on July 27, 2023, the Ghanaian government took an important step by banning the export of unprocessed minerals. This ban initially focuses on lithium, aligning Ghana with a broader trend seen in many other African countries. The common goal is to maximize the benefits arising from their abundant natural resources. Ghana's new policy, expected to become law by the end of the year, aims to secure a substantial part of the value chain before products are exported. Samuel A. Jipo, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, stresses that the decision taken by African countries, including Ghana, is not a mere coincidence. These countries have rich mineral resources, including lithium, a key component of batteries, especially those used in the growing field of green technologies and the growing interest in electric vehicles by major automakers in developed countries. This has prompted African governments to re-evaluate their export strategies, with the aim of keeping more of the value within their borders by processing minerals before exporting them. Number 8. Gabon. Since January 2010, Gabon has made determined efforts to support the growth of its timber industry and promote a diversified economy by banning the export of logs. This measure was taken to effectively implement policies aimed at economic diversification and sustainable development. On May 15th, the West African country marked a milestone by implementing a complete ban on log exports, a move that was particularly successful. The ban led to a complete halt to log exports from Gabon. Although there remains an import volume of around 60,000 cubic meters of logs, mainly destined for China, the ban has undoubtedly reduced log export activities. The International Timber Trade Organization has verified the success of this ban, highlighting its positive impact. This ban, which led to a decline in Gabon's log exports, also inadvertently led to an increase in logging activities in neighboring Cameroon. Number 7. Guinea. Guinea, a nation with untapped raw materials potential, often remains in the shadows of global attention. It should be noted that despite its abundant mineral resources, notably iron and gold, Guinea is a country facing considerable economic challenges. Surprisingly, many West African countries depend on Guinea for essential food items such as rice, onions, tomatoes, etc. In light of these circumstances, Guinea has taken an important step to address food security concerns and promote social stability. The government has imposed export bans on around 15 products, encompassing a range of items from rice and onions to dried and fresh chili peppers, eggplant, okra, fresh tomatoes, taro, cassava, yams, sweet potatoes, and palm oil. The main objective of the export bans imposed by Guinea is to safeguard its food sovereignty and maintain social peace. Number 6. Mozambique. On January 1st, 2017, the Mozambican Parliament took a unanimous decision banning the export of unprocessed wooden logs from the country. This important measure was seen as essential to safeguard Mozambique's valuable deciduous forests. The new law allows the export of semi-processed wood products like beams, boards and planks, but subjects them to an export tax. The main objective of this law is to prevent further devastation of Mozambique's forests, which are in the process of being depleted. Illegal logging has become a significant source of lost revenue for the government. China, in particular, has been Mozambique's main importer of timber. And there have been instances where Chinese nationals have engaged in logging activities without proper licensing. According to reports from the International Institute for Environment and Development, Chinese traders account for more than 90% of Mozambique's timber exports. By implementing this export ban, Mozambique aims to preserve its forests, protect its natural resources, and promote sustainable practices within the timber industry. Number 5. Namibia. Namibia recently introduced a ban on the export of unprocessed minerals, particularly lithium and other critical minerals. The move is driven by Namibia's aim to capitalize on the growing global demand for metals critical to clean energy technologies. Namibia's Ministry of Information confirmed that the cabinet had approved a ban on the export of certain essential minerals, including unprocessed lithium, cobalt, manganese, graphite, and rare earths. It should be noted that this ban is not global. The ministry clarified that exports of these specified minerals would still be permitted, but only in limited quantities and with the approval of the relevant mining authorities. Namibia has significant deposits of lithium, which play a central role in energy storage for renewable technologies. Additionally, the country is home to rare earth minerals such as dysprosium and turum, essential for making permanent magnets used in electric vehicle batteries and wind turbines. By implementing this export ban, Namibia aims to retain a larger part of the value chain associated with these essential minerals. Number 4. Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast is renowned for its production of cocoa beans, which are the main ingredient in chocolate and an important source of income for the country, contributing around $1 billion annually. In the 1970s, cocoa and coffee exports played a crucial role in Côte d'Ivoire's economic prosperity. Millions of African immigrants settled on small plots of land in the lush interior to grow cocoa and coffee. Notably, Ivory Coast is the world's largest supplier of cocoa, representing around 40% of global cocoa production. In 2021, cocoa prices jumped 6.2% to $3,300 and $1.93 per tonne, the highest level since January 2010. Cocoa prices have been on a steady rise since the last elections, and analysts expect further increases unless the political impasse is resolved. Number 3. The Democratic Republic of Congo. The DRC has imposed a ban on the export of unrefined cobalt and copper. Although exemptions from the ban have been granted periodically, the DRC Minister of Mines recently reiterated his commitment to enforcing the ban on the export of copper and cobalt ores, including their concentrates. This ban, in force since 2013, involves a total ban on the export of unprocessed copper and cobalt, and it will be actively enforced within 90 days. The main objective of this measure is to increase exports of processed mineral products in the country. However, concerns have been expressed by customers who import minerals from the DRC and by mining companies operating in the country. They argue that a national electricity supply shortage could potentially hamper the government's plans to shift from exporting ores and concentrates to refined products. 2. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe has taken immediate action by imposing a ban on the export of raw chromite to strengthen its domestic ferrochrome industry. The move was announced by the Minister of Information, Monica Matanga, in the first quarter of this year. Zimbabwe's chromite production during the same period reached 3,926 tonnes, slightly lower than the 3,536,169 tonnes produced during the comparable period in 2020. The combined export earnings of chromite ore and ferrochrome, an essential part of steel production, amounted to $231.5 million the previous year, a decrease from $266 million the year before. Zimbabwe is home to the second largest known reserves of chromite ore in the world, after South Africa. In October the previous year, South Africa introduced an export tax on chrome ore to support local ferrochrome producers. Number 1. Tanzania. Tanzania recently took action by imposing a ban on the export of gold and copper concentrates, affecting the country's largest gold mining company, London-listed Acacia Mining. Mining has historically played a central role in Tanzania's economy, contributing 3.7% to its GDP in 2014. The government introduced this export ban in a bid to boost productivity and improve management of the country's resources, thus avoiding low GDP figures. Tanzania's stated reason for adopting the ban is to encourage exporters to process, smelt, and refine unprocessed minerals domestically rather than shipping them abroad. Acacia Mining, taken in isolation, is estimated to represent approximately 2% of Tanzania's total GDP. Some have speculated that the ban could be linked to an ongoing tax dispute between the Tanzanian government and Acacia. Globally, governments are implementing various measures to ensure that multinational corporations pay their fair share of taxes. In the past, several African countries rich in natural resources have struggled with the resource curse, often associated with poor governance, corruption, environmental degradation, and human rights violations. Nevertheless, the discourse is changing thanks to visionary African leaders who have drawn the attention of major world powers to Africa's mineral wealth.